three-point shooting you've talked about before, you have to make threes against this team.
Mhm.
Can you address that? But also, in spite of the negatives, do you like what you saw for 40 minutes in terms of how you competed and executed in certain other areas?
Absolutely. We played better than we played back in Madison against them. You know, we got to make shots. You know, it's obvious. But no, I like the way we battled. I like the way we did. Other than knocking down some shots, we did about exactly what we planned in the game plan of it. You know, we had using more fouls than we had planned on, but I thought for the most part, the effort, the tenacity, they kept battling. We had to get it down to 4. Gills makes a couple threes to get separation again, but I thought we did a lot of good things. But again, to come in here and win against this team, you have to make some shots to counter how they plug the paint, and then obviously with Edie inside.
Yeah. Right, kind of going off some of those positives, how does John just continue to impress? Aggressiveness, feel for the game, and shot selection.
Just his feel for the game. I mean, feel for the game encompasses all those things: shot selection, the back cutting, the what he does defensively. For a freshman, his IQ on the court is really, really good, and he makes us better when he's on there. He does a tremendous amount of good things, and for a freshman, he's trending in an incredibly good direction, and happy for him and proud of how he's played, because he's a battler, but he just, like I said, more than anything, just his knowledge and understanding of the game is pretty obvious.
In Madison, the three-point shooting wasn't good either, but you said it was like shot selection based, I guess. Do you feel like you got better shots today?
Yeah, I did. I'll look through them, but I thought maybe AJ might have taken one bad 3, but other than that, Chucky had to shoot one coming off the staggered screen once, right in front of our bench. But other than that, I thought Marcus had good looks, Nolan had some good looks. Clez had we had really good looks early. As we started with 1 for 9 from 3, but and again, I thought that's from sharing the ball, moving it. I thought we did a lot of good things offensively, and that's a tough team, obviously. You can't get a consistent diet of things in the paint just because of the presence Zach has and how they can plug off other people, but a lot of positive things.
Jeff, heard the way they defend with Edie on wall, where he kind of sags off and tries to take foul out of it. I think Steven had 6 shots the first game, none in the first half. How much of that was foul trouble? How much of that is him just not?
It's both. I think the foul trouble puts him in a position where he's not as aggressive and gets him out of a routine and a rhythm of a game. It's hard when you have to come over and sit for an extended period of time. The fortunate thing, we were able to get 2 on 82 in the first half. So, but yeah, he's got to do a better job of not picking up the ticky-tack fouls. That when you do have to use a foul, you've got some to use and not have to come to the bench with extras and be in trouble.
You mentioned that stretch without Edie on the floor. You had a chance to kind of cut it and then kind of swung the other way. I know there's a lot of possessions in the game, but that stretch, to not capitalize with him on the floor, how big was that for you guys?
In the first half?
Yeah, last 4.5.
Yeah, I thought we had chances to cut it even more. They were hard to guard too. And you talk about just Edie on the floor, but when they come with 4 shooters, whether it's Ram at the 5 or First at the 5, and they spread you out. Specifically, Gillis, his threat to knock down threes, and then obviously you got Lawyer and Jones and Smith and Heide. So they put you in tougher positions and they can put 4 shooters on the floor at times. And but like I said, I'll look back through possession by possession and see where we had some turnovers in there, I believe. But the sequence of possessions I'll map out as I go through the film.
Are there ways to facilitate, recreate the facilitating role Tyler had, or is that just a product of how they play off of him and just the movement?
Is there a what?
The facilitating role that he had today.
Yeah, I thought we got him to good positions, and at times he didn't. At the end of the first half, I think he made the best decision. And he needed to get inside the defense and then disperse it. But we wanted to use him in some of that punch drive position where we knew he could take up space because they're not guarding him as much. So if we can spread the floor, specifically that happened more with Steve in foul trouble on the bench, we can spread more and then use him to punch drive and facilitate from there. I'll look through the film to get the sequence, but few times when he got in there, I didn't think he made the best decision on who he tried to kick the ball to, or if he didn't kick it, he should have kicked it a couple times too.
Just to follow up, is that a Purdue specific game plan, or can he do that?
We've gone some 5 wide a lot this year. We've probably done more of that this year than ever. That's just the transformation of the game, spacing the floor, opening things up. So it kind of fits hand in hand with what we've been doing offensively anyway.
Coach, were we given an explanation as to why your 4-on-5 was stopped in the first half and then they get one in the second? And it wasn't stopped when both players?
No, I wasn't given an explanation.
Did you get any update on Chucky on this one?
No.
Greg, just a small sample size here is the last 2 games, but do you feel that defensively you guys have maybe turned a corner here a little bit and you're starting to
Yeah,
kind
we were better. I thought the last couple games we've been better. This is a matchup obviously with Edie that's no matter what you do, you have to pick your poison with it, so to speak. It's the 9-3s probably for them that probably burn you more than, and that's a product of having him in the paint where they play through him, and he kicked one out to, I believe it was Lawyer in the corner in front of their bench at one point in time. So he draws so much attention, and then you're in the decision: do you double? Do you raid? Who else is on the floor determines that as well with their other 4 guys. So, but I think defensively we did a lot of good things. We didn't let up too many straight line runs to the rim off ball screens like we had earlier in the year. Chucky got run over a few times that could have gone the other way. But defensively, I thought we were better, and this is obviously one of the better offensive teams in the country.
Very obviously, you need 5 guys to play defense collectively, but how much of that, these last 2 games, has been getting Kamara back as well to go with Blackwell, 2 probably the more tenacious defenders?
Yeah, I think it's been obvious that we missed those 2 guys when they were out. Just the personality of the aggressive personality they bring to the floor, and it doesn't necessarily always have to result in numbers on a stat sheet, but they tip the tables in terms of our toughness and feistiness on the perimeter. So, obviously we still working Kamari back into it, and he's on still a little bit of a pitch count, but they definitely make us better. You saw the difference when they've been with us and when they haven't, and it's pretty clear that they help us.
Since that Indiana game in January, it doesn't seem like Max has really had much exposure, I guess. How do you get him going again?
Yeah, he's got to get healthy. I mean, he's a little banged up right now. I wasn't sure if he was going to play today or not. And, I thought you could tell he didn't move quite like he has. So hopefully here with a few days to get him healthy, that'll help get him back to where he needs to be.
Okay.
Thanks, good.